Just let me know when we're starting. Start now. Oh. Hello and welcome to Android Weekly. This is your host, RICKY, the Android Guy. Let's bring you guys your weekly Android news and everything in the mobile industry. Alright guys, so a couple of things been starting off. Apple, their stock is really bad. I advise you to sell. And yeah, it's only looking like it's going to get worse as certain things have happened. And we'll go over that. And I'll do my own, full, separate segment on that another day because their stock is wow. One of the reasons is that, so Apple spends about $188 on the new iPad mini. Only $23 more compared to Amazon. However, they're still only getting a profit of $130 as opposed to their $300 on their new iPad. What does this mean, you ask? Well, it's very simple. It means that their new iPad mini has to sell double the amount of the iPad for it to really grow sales. However, that was not the case. Combined, the iPad mini and the iPad 4 sold 3 million its first weekend. Now, the problem with this is that is what happened as well for the original iPad. The original iPad, or not the original iPad, sorry, the new iPad, iPad 3, which is now the oldish, newish iPad, is only sold 3 million as well. At that time, it was really good, but for the fact that the iPad Mini is now worked in with in that schedule, they actually basically are showing at a loss of profit margin. The whole idea of the iPad Mini is to sell more so that they can get the same profit. However, if they're just selling more of those, that means that they're actually losing iPad sales. So that's a big concern for Apple, and one of their stock, and one of the main reasons their stock is going down is because now they're trying to go for market share, which they're not good at. They're good at profit margin, and now since that's not there anymore, and their market share isn't really increasing, it's not going the way it should. Let's just put it that way. That's the nice way of saying it. Other news in the industry, of course, compared to its main rival, Samsung. Samsung supposedly, in an article found from Android Authority, that it's supposed to go through a brand overhaul come CES 2013 in January. Now this is pretty interesting because the person who is working on this has also worked on Nike and Starbucks on certain things like the Just Do It campaign, as well as other things. So this is pretty interesting. What will Samsung change in its brand image? Will it be that dramatic, or will it just be tweaking in the way it's been going with their cell phone commercials, which have gotten critically acclaimed by all marketing campaigns and advertising agencies? This is pretty interesting to see what will happen and what will change. It's pretty interesting to see how it will go at CES in January. As they are on the rise, this can either just help them continue on or be a little misstep. So it's interesting to see what will happen in this case. Microsoft Surface tablet. Now, if you saw my first videos on the Microsoft Surface, I was concerned as to how much storage was on the 32 gigs, saying that, guys, it's only like about 16 gigs. And nonetheless, Microsoft has actually released the official statement saying that their 32 gig model, you only get 16 gigs of free storage, and their 64 gig model, you get 46 gigs of free storage. So this is pretty interesting, and this of course comes from the built-in hardware. Hard drive storage, of course, doesn't have a full hard drive ever, so we know that by now, as well as flash, of course, memory. The actual size of recovery tools that Windows needs to put on there, just in case your system ever goes bad, it can recover without a problem. As well as Office itself being built in on there. Of course, you get Office 2013 for free on Windows RT. So this is pretty interesting because although their marketing is doing a very good job of highlighting that you get 32 gigs of storage for $500. Of course, you know you're getting more storage than most other tablets, such as the iPad will give you. You're actually only getting 16 gigs of actual storage. So that's pretty interesting and definitely a good job by their marketing team. Very, yes, well done. Well done. Let's just put it at that. And speaking of the tablet market, how is it looking? Well, I can see why Apple brought out the iPad mini. Apple share dropped to only 50%, 50.4% to be exact, of the tablet market, a figure that is continuing to go down. Almost losing 50% of the entire tablet market now, it has gone down dramatically. Now getting closer and closer, Samsung has now taken 18.4% of the tablet market. So almost 20% now belongs to Samsung alone. This is, of course, Android tablets, but Samsung is also developing Windows tablets as well. So it's interesting to see how these numbers will change. Amazon is in third with 9%. And other tablet manufacturers together are making up the rest. So Asus, Lenovo, and all these other ones are kind of making the rest. So it's interesting to see how the new Nexus 10 from Samsung will fare, as it being a 10-inch tablet with a better resolution to the iPad at $400. So pretty interesting to see how these new products will affect these changes in the tablet market, which is now going towards the scale of Android. Android itself, as an OS, altogether has 37% of the tablet market share. So that's pretty interesting that it's, you know, about 13% off from Apple already. So it's definitely likely that Android will take the majority tablet market share next year, and Windows will gain probably about 20%, leaving Apple with the rest. So we're definitely seeing a shift in the tablet market in the next upcoming year. Now, speaking of Android dominating or increasing sales, they were the main winner of the recent Q3 numbers. In the recent Q3 numbers, we saw Android now owns 75% of all phones sold. So out of 4 phones sold, 3 of them would be Android. Apple did go up a little bit. They went up from 13% to 14%. Not the drastic change that Android went from having only 57% last year to now having 75%. So a huge jump from them. Of course, BlackBerry continues to decline as 9.5% down to 4.3%. And Windows did see a little bit of an increase, going from 1% to 2%. So these are the differences that we've seen. Android, though, is clearly the winner, having a year-over-year 91% change in terms of volume and numbers. So pretty big, and kudos to Android for getting those kind of numbers. Now, what is Apple doing in response to this? Well, they actually let go of one of their top people, who was one of the main people who oversaw iOS as a whole, and that built it in terms of the interface and how it looked. Now, one of the big things is that, you know, he didn't want to, the rumor, I'll put this in the rumor mill. It makes sense though. iOS is supposed to have a huge overhaul next year. The reason is because it's become stale. If you look at iPad 1 to iPad 4, all look identical. iPhone 1 to iPhone 5, you added 1 row, and that was it. It looks the same. iOS needs some kind of fresh look. Windows has made tiles that are live and move. Android, of course, dominates in terms of personalization and making your phone your own, as opposed to looking the same as everyone else's. And Apple needs to move forward and do a OS change, and that's what they want to do, and it's not what the person in charge of it, Forstall, was. So It's debatable whether they're making the right move here. You know, what will change? Will it be too drastic? Will people lose the simplicity they like with iOS? That's a very big possibility. And this is a very dramatic difference because of the fact that you have to keep in mind this is not what Steve Jobs had planned. So, you know, the people that say, oh, you know, well, they plan things out years in ahead, this is a change. It's a reaction, which Apple does not normally do. Apple does not normally react to what other tablet and phone manufacturers are doing, and it seems that are at their wits' end because of their falling stock price, because of their lackluster sales in phones now. It seems that they have to do something drastic and do something different. How will this fare? We'll see, but right now it's not looking too good for them. Speaking of which, Apple is losing cases here and there, and one of the most interesting ones that they lost recently was their legal claim over the word iPhone in Mexico. Now, the reason why this was an interesting article is because there was already a company out that was called iPhone in Mexico long before iPhone was released. Now, however, the name of it is iPhone, spelled I-F-O-N-E, and Apple was saying that they should not be allowed to use this name, even though it was registered in 2003, long before 4 years before Apple trademarked the name iPhone with P-H-O-N-E. So they tried and they failed, and now they have no legal right to the iPhone name at all, as a kind of backlash to them bringing up this court case to begin with. And you're seeing a lot of that not only is Apple losing, but they're actually judges that are tired of Apple trying to do these different things, and it's hurting them. Google is seeming to make all the right moves lately, and one thing that they're doing is, while as stores are slowly adopting Google Wallet, they are deciding to take it a step further to help out their customers and make a physical card for Google Wallet. So this is pretty interesting because it will link to your account, and you can basically select on your phone which Google card you want to use, if you want to use your credit card or your debit card, or if you want to use one as a primary and one as a backup. So this is pretty cool, but the idea is, again, so that you only have to have one card with you and do not have to carry around your credit cards or your debit cards with you, so you can actually just carry this one card around with you. So really nice concept, and of course if it's ever stolen, you can just disable the Google Wallet card. Really nice, and you still don't have to lose all of your other credit cards. So it's just a really nice concept, and I think it'll actually do really good that, you know, Google keeps on going ahead instead of just, okay, well, if one thing's taking a long time, let's fix it and make it go quicker. And I think it'll increase the adoption to Google Wallet. Amazon was mistaken for doing a side-by-side comparison flyer, saying that the iPad mini only has a mono speaker. I'm actually defending Amazon in this, simply for the fact that it has a stereo speaker on one side that are right next to each other, and not a left and right side, so it produces a mono sound. Who cares if it's two speakers? It's only out of one side producing a mono sound. So it's still not stereo in terms of how Amazon Kindle Fire HD is, which is on one on the left and one on the right, giving you a true stereo sound experience. So I thought that was really interesting that they kind of got, you got that wrong, but who cares? It's still a mono sound, and not that great of one to point that out. Now, you also have a huge announcement coming on November 13th. HTC and Verizon are holding an announcement. The big rumor, of course, that this will be the HTC Droid DNA device that we saw already in Japan, a 5-inch screen with a 1080p resolution. Now again, this would be the first 1080p screen to enter the US market, so it would be interesting if it would be true. We'll still see how this goes, and of course, being it's HTC, the most important thing is, did they learn their lesson on battery life, or will it still be a poor battery life? Did you guys wish Android a happy birthday on the 5th? Because November 5th did mark the 5-year anniversary of Android. A year before the G1 was released, Android was made into its operating system, and then a year later had its first phone and device. But yes, November 5th, 2007 was the original date that Android was made. So, happy birthday, Android. Pat on the shoulder for you. Or on the head, I guess. But you know what I meant. And then finally, Apple's trying to add Jelly Bean and Samsung Galaxy Note 10.1 and the Samsung Galaxy Nexus to its latest patent suits. Patent suits that the judge said that it would not consider to start till 2014. Yes, these are how long these court cases are getting now. So, that was all the main stuff on Android. What do you guys think in the certain developments to both Android as well as Apple? Who do you think is making the right moves? Do you think it's hurting one or the other more so? Which one, what do you see happening with Android and Apple yourselves? Leave comments down below and I'll probably go over it in a separate section. Thank you for watching and please like the video so I can keep making these for you. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.